Alright, welcome back to the Minecraft series. I don't quite remember what we were doing here. Been a little while. Alright, I guess we're just gonna explore a little bit. I'm probably not gonna be... I know I keep saying this, but I'll probably not be too chatty in this one, especially. Just because it's late at night, I'm tired, and I'm just like, you know, I just want to play around with some Minecraft, because why not? And there's a creeper following me, nice. Very nice. Anyway, saw that Breakers was getting an update, and by update I mean the balancing. Ugh, the balance. They didn't balance shit. All they did was make it so the Gamma's level 1 and level 2 is like, I don't know, 5% worse, if even that. Like, why even bother nerfing the Gammas, honestly? Like, if you're not gonna nerf anything substantial, maybe you shouldn't have just touched anything at all. Like seriously, reduce the range of their detection skill at level 1 and 2 only. Made it so the barrier can be broken by attacks easier. At level 1 and 2 only, might I add. I'm also gonna be very hiccupy because I just had dinner a little bit ago. Ugh. But yeah, like, why even bother, you know? Like, if you're only gonna touch the most, like, basic of basic things, because, like, let me be honest with you, the Gammas are such a dominant raider that there are genuinely multiple times where I'll have games, and I just won't need to break strike ever. Period. At all. Not even once. How did I... okay. So, like, if there's genuinely gonna be times where I'm not even gonna need it, and then it's probably not a very good nerf, now is it? Now there's just nothing here. Huh. Switch to iron. There we go. Oh well. Oh, what else is in the news? Yeah, and they buffed Broly for some reason. Like, they reduced how much damage he does at level 3, but only with his basic generic attacks. His supers and his actives are completely untouched. Now granted, his actives didn't really do too much damage, so I guess that wasn't needed. But still, you could have done a hell of a lot more. But in exchange for making his level 3 do, like, slightly less damage, now it's also a lot easier to get. And they didn't touch Buhan at all. Like, what? Why? Why? He's the most blatantly and objectively unfair and overpowered raider in the game. And they just decide, yeah, he's fine, he's balanced, he's healthy for the competitive state of the game. Because according to Dims, this is a very competitive game. This is some esports shit, apparently. Ugh. I don't think Dims understands, like, what game they're making. Then again, I don't think Dims understands anything about anything. Oh, more gold. Well, what else in the news? I gotta say, I've gotten really hooked into Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. I mean, I've always been into it, but it's like physical card game, even though I don't have any stores nearby. Seriously, the closest store to me is like a 40-minute drive away, and that's just not feasible to do. There we go. And so it's realistically like I don't have anything at all near me. So I gotta say, I've chosen quite the terrible time to like try my desperate hardest to get back into the physical card games. Like, I own a pretty good plethora of random cards. Full-blown decks, only a handful. But yeah. And it's like, fuck, man, there's so many good cards that I want, and there's even quite a few that I want that are dirt cheap, like Gem Knights. Like, Gem Knights are unironically really good right now. Like, no joke, Gem Knights are probably like the 10th or 11th best deck in the entire game at the moment. Don't quote me on that, but like, they're up there. They're good enough to the point where people are like, but what if I run into Gem Knights, you know? And that's always a good sign, you know? That's a sign that a deck is not only viable, but like a genuine threat, you know? And that's cool, and I will admit, the new Gem Knight support, well, quote-unquote new, but the new playstyle for the Gem Knights, I absolutely love it, because it's like, wow, they've somehow converted this deck, which was trying. What is this? This looks like something Herobrine made. Oh, this is so weird. It's like a perfectly formed staircase. Cool. Okay, let's get a little bit of oxygen. Okay, can I mine this in time? Probably 1 or 2. Ooh, yeah, I got an idea. Anyway, and like they converted this deck that was originally meant to just be a funny little haha OTK deck, and everyone abused it and turned it into a FTK deck because, you know, that's what that's clearly what was. Ooh, bioluminescent squid. Cool. Because, you know, that we need more of that in the game. Alright, here we go. Alright, this is good. I can just do it like this and keep my oxygen up. Nice. Anywho, and with the new cards, well, quote-unquote new, like I said, but like with the new cards, like you can tell that Konami was trying their hardest to not support the FTK, because like so many of their cards specify if the opponent controls a monster, and also they always have this cost where it says, for the rest of this phase, as in main phase, the opponent takes only half effect damage. It's like if you're adhering to the current game plan of Gem Knights, then that's completely irrelevant. But I like how they specify they only take half effect damage during the main phase, because one of their OTK enablers has a burst effect. What's burst? That's just what I call flame wingman effects. You know, destroy it by battle, and then you deal damage equal to its attack. You know, that's what I call burst damage. Good stuff. Like, I love the fact that they've just readapted it to being an OTK deck again. It's no longer the silly, funny OTK deck. Now it's the, oh, this is perfectly competent OTK deck. This is Tenpai at home. This is Tenpai if Tenpai players had brain cells. And I appreciate that. It's actually quite nice. It's like, wow, they've took Tenpai Dragon and they made it not bullshit. They made it not brain dead. They did it. They actually did it. Okay, got a lot more cave to explore, honestly. Plenty of good resources to get to. What's over here? I see gold. Alright. And, like, I really would love to make the deck, and, like, I looked at the price tag, and, like, aside from one card, which, granted, you need to play 3 copies of, but, like, aside from one card, none of their cards are even in the, like, dollar digit. Almost every card in the entire archetype is, like, 10, 20, or 30 cents. The only exception being the primary playmaker, which you need to play 3 of, but even then, it's pretty inexpensive. It's only like, $5 or something like that. So it's like, even still, it's a pretty good budget option. And like, being this insanely budget friendly, now granted, it is a die-hard go second, I literally can't do anything going first type deck, which means that you need to spend a lot of money on staples. But I already own almost every staple card in the game, so for me specifically, that doesn't really matter. The only things I don't have are the Mulcharmy cards, which, yeah, I still need, desperately, because that stuff's broken. Seriously, let's make a card that's so overpowered and bullshit, and just lets you draw your entire deck during fucking turn 0. Let's do that, and then let's ban it, but only in the... Okay, I thought I saw something else. Oh, it goes really deep. Oh, it goes super deep! Look at that! Cool. This place goes super ultra deep. And, what was I talking about? I'm actually forgetting. Oh, God. And, like, it's just, like, Gem Knights are super budget-friendly, minus the staples. but, like, that's not really the deck's fault. Molcharming, right, Maxi, that was what I was talking about. Yeah, Maxi was so bullshit and broken it got banned in the TCG, and, the OCG's entire game is just, and Master Duel, are just completely warped around it. Like, everybody hates it, everyone thinks it's bullshit, everyone thinks it's overpowered. Ask any OCG player what their favorite format is, and they will always respond with whatever format Maxi is not in. Like, that's how much of a horseshit, unfair, unfun card Maxi is. And it's like, yeah, I'm a TCG player, so I don't have to worry about that, right? Well, they decide, hey guys, I got an idea. Let's make a balanced version of Maxi. Like, is Molcharming more fair than Maxi? Oh yeah, absolutely. It's way more fair. Infinitely more fair. But a more fair version of a bullshit busted card is still a bullshit busted card. You know? Like, do you see what I'm trying to get at here? Like, just because it's more fair doesn't mean that it's not unfair. The difference is, Maxi lets you draw a card every time the opponent special summons. That's it. That's, pretty bullshitty. Molcharming, specifically, I forget what the good one is. There's three. There's the one no one uses, the one that some people use, and then the one that everyone uses. The one that everyone uses is that every time they special summon from the extra deck, or the main deck, you draw a card, which, to be fair, that's where the vast, overwhelming majority of summons are going to be coming from, so it's basically Maxi. Now, it also has another effect that I don't think I've ever seen resolve, like, ever. Oh, this is cool, it's like a little staircase. And that effect being that, during the end phase, if you have more cards in your hand than the amount of cards the opponent controls plus 6, you have to randomly shuffle cards from your hand into the deck up to the number of cards your opponent controls. Basically saying that if your opponent goes absolutely fucking crazy and just summons 10 bajillion billion times and you draw a million cards, but they end up using those cards for extra deck material, so now they only have like 5 or 6 cards on the field, then you gotta put a few of them back. But like, okay, and you still drew 10 fucking billion cards, you know? You still drew like 10,000 times. Even if you have to put them back at random, it doesn't fucking matter. You're still gonna have a way, 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 way better hand than what you initially opened with. Dire Skeleton, alright. And it's like, I personally do not like that card. I think the Molcharmies are very poorly designed. Much like Maxi, they're better than Maxi. Better as in better designed, but still very poorly designed. So yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I'm just not a fan of when they make cards like this. I don't really like any card that, like, feels like you must run it in order to stand even the most basic iota of a chance at winning. Like, when the game reaches that point, it just feels like, what's even the point, you know? Like, the game becomes, like, really stale and unfun and uninteractive. If it feels like I absolutely must play very specific cards in order to even stand a chance, then there's a good chance I'm not going to have fun with it, you know? And it's kind of sad that's kind of the current state of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, you can make the argument... Good lord, look at how pretty this is. Oh look, more Abandoned Mineshaft. Like, you can make the argument Yu-Gi-Oh's kind of always been this way. Like, even ye olden days, like, even in the very first format, before this game even realistically had rules, like, even then, there were cards that you absolutely had to play. Which is kind of a funny tangent. Did you know at one point in Yu-Gi-Oh history, Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth was actually, unironically, like, the best card in the game? Like, I'm not screwing with you. Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, at one point, during a very brief time frame, was genuinely like the best card in the game. And how fucked up is that sentence I just said? Wow. Beautiful environment, huh? Anyway. And the format I'm talking about is like the very, very, very beginning, like when it first came out in Japan. See, when they first came out, there wasn't too many rules, and the biggest example of this is just the fact that there was no such thing as a tribute summon. You could just summon monsters from your hand no matter what. Yeah. And, interestingly enough, with the first original printing of Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, it didn't say you had to summon it via the effects of Cocoon of Evolution. It said you could special summon it with the effect of Cocoon of Evolution. Yeah. So in a format where cards are severely limited, and there's this 3,500 tag monster you can just normal summon for no cost, essentially. Or better yet, dump in the graveyard and revive with Monster Reborn. Then that was actually, unironically, like, the best play. The point I'm trying to make here is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has kind of always been shit, in the sense that no matter what, at any time point, at any, like, format, at any, well, anything, there's always been circumstances where you are basically forced to run specific cards. There has always been staples that must be played, no matter what your deck is, etc., etc. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, the game's always been this way, and I do mean always. So, part of me wants to say, I get it, you know, I get it, it's just another staple that basically every deck that can run it should. But, I get it. Speaking of cards that, you know, run things if they can, have you ever heard of Morganite? Somewhat new-ish archetype that came out. And I gotta say, Morganite is a lot of the things I love about Yu-Gi-Oh! Morganite is a series of 3 spells and 1 monster. The spells are Time-Tearing Morganite, Guilt-Gripping Morganite. Oh my gosh, look at that. Let me get up in my chair for this one. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The music's really fitting here, isn't it? It's like mystical and like full of wonder. See any diamonds? I see iron, I see gold, I see iron, I see iron. I don't see any diamond. I see a lot of iron though. Nice. I might need to head up and smelt some iron, cause might be due for some tool upgrades, you know. But yeah, Morganite, Time-Tearing Morganite says that when you activate it for the rest of the duel, you cannot use monster effects in the hand. Basically meaning no more hand traps. So for something like that, it better have a really good upside, right? Well, its upside is that now, for the rest of the duel, you draw 2 cards during your draw phase instead of the usual 1, and, in addition, you can normal summon twice. That's pretty awesome. And, like for me specifically, I've always loved cards like this, where it's like slow burn, you gain huge advantage, you know. I love decks and archetypes like that, where you just slowly gain more and more resources and stuff, you know. So, yeah, Time-Tearing's pretty good. Then there's Guilt-Gripping Morganite, which makes it so you can normal summon level 5 and highers without tributing, and you do not have to pay life points to activate spells or traps. A bit more niche than Time-Tearing. Oh, it has the same caveat. All of them have the downside where you can't use monster effects in the hand. Like, all of them have that. Ooh, Lapis. Let me light up this area a little bit. Alright. And, yeah. They also all have a grave effect, but I'll get to that after I say the third one. Third one is Succumbing Song Morganite. Succumbing Song makes it so your monsters can battle the opponent's monsters twice per turn, and the opponent takes double battle damage from battles involving their monsters with your monsters. It's a little weirdly worded, but it has to be worded that way, so that way it doesn't just simply say, oh, your opponent takes double damage, which would be actually bonkers. For the decks that can run it, of course. I don't think doing double damage would justify getting rid of hand traps for most decks, but, you know. Then the third card is the monster, Morgana, the Witch of Eyes. I think that was her name. Basically, very simple. Searches the Morganite cards on summon. Also, if you have all 3 of the Morganite cards in your grave or are banished, during your turn, you can just make it so all the opponent's monsters' attack becomes 0. She has 1500 attack. That basically means that she makes it so their attack becomes 0. She battles them, they deal 3000 damage. Quick, simple, easy, clean. You know? Pretty awesome. Now, since these effects apply for the rest of the duel, you're probably thinking, oh, are these like bricks are these like bricks if you draw extra copies? Well, actually, no. They all have graveyard effects. Now, I don't own Succumbing Song or Guilt Gripping. I do have Time Tearing, since that was the first one that came out a while ago. Hello. That did not hit me, Mr. Long Arms. Anyway. I own Time Tearing. Oh, my nose is itchy. Anyway, I own Time Tearing since that came out first a while ago. And, its grave effect is that you can banish it from the graveyard, discard another copy of itself, and your opponent cannot activate card effects in response to you normal summoning monsters this turn. Clearly and evident what it wants you to do with it, you know? Not the best effect, in fact I think it's the worst of the 3. But, yeah. Now, the other 2 I don't own, so I don't fully know / remember what they do for graveyard effects. I know one of them says you can search a Morganite card and then put 1 card in your hand to the bottom of the deck. Something like that. And the other had something to do with drawing, I think. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I don't own the last 2, so I don't fully know what their grave effects are. But trust me when I say they're a billion times better than Time Tearing. Billion, trillion, cotillion times better. I heard a creeper falling. Get this redstone. And there goes my iron pick. Okay. Well, this is going to be a bit tricky to navigate. Here we go. Let's see, what else was I going to say? Right. So, like, I'm a big fan, you know? It's like, I really want to get that stuff. Though, again, they're surprisingly cheap, except for Time Tearing and, Succumbing Song, yeah. Morgana and Guilt Gripping are dirt cheap. Time Tearing's like $5 each. That's a lot of bats. And, Succumbing Song is like $4 each. Again, not exactly expensive, but definitely beyond my reach, because I'm completely fucking broke. I don't have any fucking money. I'm massively struggling financially. Come on, shoot each other, I dare you. There you go. Alright. Nice. Here we go. Let me grab this moss here. Nice. What do we got? Gunpowder, bones, beetroot seeds. Interesting. Okay, cool. Cool. Don't need all these rocks. Definitely put that away. Yeah. Yeah, that can work. More gunpowder. String. Riptide. What does Riptide do? I don't know. Pumpkin seeds. I have plenty of them. Some wheat. Alright, not bad, not bad. We should probably make a little something to designate that there's a dungeon here. Oh, good lord. I just realized I'm getting massively lost because I've delved so deep into this cave that I'm not even sure which way is the way out now. Uh-oh. That's never good. Alright, well, like I was saying, something I have noticed, though, is that a lot of people are not a fan of the Morganites just because they're played in stun decks. And for some weird, unknown reason that I can't even begin to fathom, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players really, really, really hate stun. For some reason. Why do I say for some reason, non-sarcastically? Quite simple. Like, they don't like stun because it prevents them from playing, but, like, my brother in Christ, every Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck does that. And I do mean every one of them. No exception. They're all like that. Like, I don't understand, like, what's the hate for stun strategies, simply because... Hello? Oh, hi. I don't understand the hatred for stun strategies because, like, they do the same thing, it's just they do it faster. It's like, with meta decks, they put up like 20,000 negates, or like 1,000,000 disruptions of some kind. And they're all like, oh yeah, that's good, I like that, that's good game design. But when a stun deck just simply sets 2 cards that basically accomplish the same feat, but without activation, or because it's a continuous trap or whatever, that's when they, like, rage, they and I don't understand why, because, like, bro, just play Harpies. There you go, you win. I understand that's part of the old argument of just draw the out forehead, which is an argument that in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is vile and no one likes. But I don't think, I'm gonna say it, I don't think stun deserves this much hatred. I really don't. Like, yeah, it's degenerate, but it's fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is degenerate as hell. Literally everything. There's not a single fucking aspect of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's not degenerate and toxic. I was trying to think there, and yeah, I can't think of much. Oh, cool, I've been here. Alright, sweet. Looped around. Okay, now how am I gonna get out of here? Which way do I go? Well, here we go. It was that easy. Who'd have thought? Alright. I need to... Did anyone else hear that? I swear I heard a stone block being placed down. Weird. Phantom player phenomenon. Yeah, this looks atrocious, but it's the only entrance into it, so why not? Oh, I see a baby husk. I gotta run. Gotta blast. Anywho, what was I saying? Right. Like, stun doesn't really deserve the hate it gets, just because, like, it does the same thing the meta decks do. Only difference is that it's a lot less flashy and a lot less interruptible. Like, is that why they hate it? Because the $500 hand traps they have can't counter it? Is that why they hate it so much? Probably. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't like having to face skill drain either, but, like, it's not that much different than every fucking meta deck ever. Virtually every meta deck just revolves around preventing the opponent from playing the game, so what's the problem here, you know? There we go. Yeah. I'm gonna hiccup any second now. I can feel it building up. There it is. I'm okay. Ugh. Anyway, meats and animals, no. Foods, yes. Beetroot seeds. Oh, I had more. Cool. Alright. Let me go get a bucket of lava. It's probably filling that hole right there. Yeah, that'll be useful for later. Like I don't like facing a skill drain any more than the next guy, but it's not really any different than what meta decks do. It really isn't. Like, speaking of meta, let's look back at, like, Yu-Gi-Oh's history of, like, meta decks and, like, try to, like, try to, like, exactly figure out what their primary game plan was, shall we? Just so I can help prove my point that Yu-Gi-Oh's always been degenerate, and it's always been shit. Like, the earliest meta that I can think of was, what was the deck called? Like, it's called Go Format, but, like, what was the deck called? I don't even fucking know. Basically, the idea was you use Scapegoat to make tokens during the opponent's turn, then you played the spell card Metamorphosis, and then you turned one of the tokens into 1,000 Eyes Restrict, and then with Restrict on the field, the opponent couldn't attack. Yeah, and also monsters couldn't change their battle position, but yeah. Yeah, that was considered game-breakingly strong in 2004. Wow, the times changed. But yeah, like, but you see what I'm trying to get at, right? Like, it messes with the opponent's ability to play. Like that's a pretty decent example. Another good example. Oh, right, let me cook my iron. There we go. Like that, and I'm not even, like, done yet, you know? Like, not even close. Like, the other examples, like, next thing that I can think of off the top of my head, 2005 or 6-ish, Dark Arm Dragon. Dark Arm Dragon's whole shtick was just, like, very consistently loading up the grave full of dark monsters, banishing them to destroy all the opponent's cards with Dark Arm Dragon, and then special summoning them all back with Return from the Different Dimension or Dimension Fusion to go for a massive OTK. Now, these cards were bullshit. Oh, wait, of course! How could I forget? The first tier 0 deck ever. How could I forget? Chaos, yeah. So back in, like, 2004 or so, before there was even a ban list, there was a deck that was so bullshit and unfair that it created the ban list. Yeah, before this, Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't have a ban list. We had cards that were limited to 1, but that was about it. We had the, what was it called? Restricted list, I think? Something like that. And, like, it was just your usual staples, you know, like Regeki, Monster Born, Change of Heart, stuff like that. The common staples you saw. They said the whole reason for creating this list was to keep decks diverse and to make it so it didn't pressure players into feeling like they had to play specific cards to stand a chance. Keep in mind, that was the original formula. Yeah. Like, that's what Konami literally admitted that the ban list reason for existing is. Anywho, Chaos was a deck that was so bullshit strong for the time that it created the ban list. Though you can make the argument it was Chaos Emperor who created the ban list, specifically. And yeah, I can see it. Basically, it was just every overpowered card of the time period, all in one deck. Every single one. Dimension Fusion, Chaos Emperor Dragon, Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, Jinzo, Ring of Destruction, Confiscation, what were some more ones? The Forceful Sentry, there we go. Just every bullshit overpowered thing from the early days, all in one deck. And it was so oppressive, so unfun, and also with the release of Yatagarasu, it created a lock where you would have Sandgan on your field. You would special summon Chaos Emperor Dragon, and then you'd use Chaos Emperor Dragon's effect, which sends every card on the field and in both players' hands to the grave, and the opponent takes damage for each card sent. And Sandgan's effect would activate, letting you search a monster with 1500 or less attack. You'd search for Yatagarasu. You'd normal summon Yatagarasu, you'd attack with Yatagarasu, and then Yatagarasu's effect would activate. His effect was that if it dealt battle damage, the opponent must skip their next draw phase. And because they just got rid of every card in their hand, Yatagarasu is still on the field. Yeah, you see where this is going, right? Basically, it would lock them out of drawing. They'd have no cards in their hand, no cards on their field. This was during the time before graveyard effects were very prevalent. Yeah. Like, I hope you understand why this was a problem. Let's see if I can make some maps. I got an idea. Where's some wood? How do I make that one table? Hold on. I think I need to make paper first. How do I make that one table? No, not smithing, not fletching. Yeah, cartography. Oh, it's that simple, okay. Where do I want to put this? Somewhere that would look okay. Right there, that's fine. Well, actually, no, that doesn't look right. It's gonna have blank sides no matter what I do, so whatever. Alright. Let me make a compass. And make a ton of paper. Perfect. Making a map. You know how it is. Ooh, cool. Metals, put that here, yeah. Okay, still got quite a bit of way here. But yeah, my ultimate point here is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always been degenerate, and it's always been bullshit. Like, it has always been this way, and anyone who tries to tell you otherwise is just straight up lying to you. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always been shit, it's always been degenerative, and that's something that's just not going to change anytime soon. Okay, the view bobbing's getting annoying. Okay, let's just hold it like this. Let's just explore the desert a little bit here. Just expand the map a little bit, you know? Make it a bit easier to know where I haven't been. Should probably make some different, probably make some differences to this map here, make it a little bit more obvious. I mean, I guess, ooh, ravine. I mean, I guess I could do some other stuff. Oh yeah, this is where the little crater is. Cool. So yeah, like, Yu-Gi-Oh's always been degenerate, it's always been bullshit, it's always been this way. No matter what anyone says, it has always been this way. All this time, there was a lovely little plains area right here. Plains are like my favorite place to build. Call me basic, call me a Minecraft boomer, call me whatever you want. That's a lonely tree up there on that hill. Like, call me whatever you want, but like, I like building in plains. Oh, look, another portal. Sweet. It's getting close to nighttime, though. Ah, man. Oh, look. Very weird generation. Cool. Oh, hell. There's some sheep here. Sweet. Eggs. Ah, I should have brought some wheat. I see some horses. Ooh, and cows, too. I need that. Really should have brought some wheat. Well, you know what? Now I know where they are. You know? Now I know where they are. Let me replace my pick. So I can come back here later. Come back here later for these little guys. Bring them to my farm. Oh, it's a big one! Cool. Golden carrots, golden nuggets, iron nuggets, flint and steel, silk touch. Good loot. Crying obsidian. Pretty nice. Okay, let's douse that. Don't want to accidentally fall into any of this, so. What? Yeah. Well, for once I wasn't the cause of this forest fire, so you can't blame me. Alright, well. Ow. Alright, you know what? It's getting late. I better get moving. So, yeah. Let's see. What else is in the news, Yu-Gi-Oh-wise? Ooh, a wolf. I do have plenty of bones. Not on me, but I could go get some. Maybe I should just start carrying wheat with me. In case I encounter some animals I need to raise. And they're already spawning. Wow, alright. Drowned. Another forest fire? Aw, poor parrots. Ooh. Put that in there. I'll be taking that. I need it. Pretty moon. Don't stare at the moon. Hats off to you if you get that reference. Sorry, I was just staring at the moon. Okay, there's the temple. And there's my home. Just gotta keep dodging the mobs here. And there's home. Alright. I do kind of want to get close to ending this just because I'm getting the urge to play some other games, but we'll go to sleep, wait a little bit, grab, upgrade this, grab some wheat, try to bring those cows and, sheep this way, see if I can get them in the pen. Be pretty nice. Oh, wow. Wait, does that undo all my progress? Oh, that's bull. Hold on, let's replace this. Yeah. I mean, would you count golden carrots as food? I don't think you can eat it, so... Put that there. Yeah, that's good enough, I guess. Okay, oh, wait, right. Where's the wheat? There's the wheat. Well, this is gonna be a journey and a half. Hello, Husk. Let's get moving, I guess. Bumped my mic, sorry. Oh, hey! It's this con artist. Milk bucket for... Does that do damage? I don't think it does. Grab this. Nice. Anyway, like I was saying, it's this swindler. What do you got for me today? Baked potatoes for... really? These guys? Anyway. Baked potato for an emerald, that's not bad. Milk bucket, that'd actually be a pretty decent deal. Pale oak, okay. Interesting. You know, I appreciate the wandering trader just because it's like, wow, if you're nowhere near a village, it gives emeralds a use. But at the same time, does he have to be such a swindler, you know? Another big crater. Cool. Okay, now where were these? I think they were over here. Across the river. Okay. There's the sheep. There's some salmon, but like... I think they were right over here? Oh boy, this is gonna be... This is gonna take a while. Pretty cool terrain. Look at that little crevice in the mountain there. That's pretty awesome. There they are. You need either cows or hoglins, I think they're called. The big-ass pig monsters in the nether. You need one of those two things in order to... Oh, cute, little baby horse. You need one of those two things in order to make books, because Jeb is just so hell-bent on making Minecraft as inconvenient as possible. Like, most of you probably aren't even old enough to remember this, but back in ye old ancient days, you didn't need leather to make books. All you needed was paper. And then just one day out of nowhere, they just randomly decided, yeah, let's make it so you need leather too. Like, actually, for no reason at all. Like, there was no need. Ah, son of a... Okay. Come on. Dumbass cows. Anyway. Like, there was no need for it at all. And for some reason, they felt compelled to just forcibly make it so it requires leather now. Which means, did you not spawn near cows? Like back before the Nether update, it was like, oh, did you just not get lucky enough to spawn right next to cows? Well, fuck you then. Get fucked, idiot. Okay, guess you're not having any books this playthrough. Therefore, no enchanting this playthrough. Like, it was very annoying. Why he made it that way beats me. Oh, you dumbass. They lose interest after, like, just, like, 5 tiles. It's ridiculous. Like, I hate having to stop every 2 seconds for them to catch up. There's a lot of things that was changed in Minecraft that I really despise. Like, some of the graphics I felt like were completely unnecessary to change, and they still did for no reason. Just because they wanted to. This part's gonna suck. Because they're very, very, very slow in the water. So how was your day? I'm sorry to hear that. This is so sluggish. The worst part is they'll turn around randomly, as you see right there with the cow. If they get too far, they'll lose interest. Because every animal in Minecraft has ADD, just like me. Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever mentioned that on my channel. Have I ever mentioned that I have ADD? Wait, was it ADD? See, now even I'm starting to get a little confused, because I'm like I got diagnosed with ADD at first, but then, like, later on, they thought, okay, maybe it's Asperger's, and then ultimately they were just like, autism? So I don't know. I remember growing up, my mother thought it was Asperger's all this time, and, like, yeah, I can see it, because I definitely have, like, the signs for it. I thought it was ADD, because of my inability to focus. Or at least previous inability to focus. I'm a lot better at it now. Not with medication, nope, just personal training and nothing else. Can still lose my train of thought relatively easily, though. As you are probably more than aware. What are you two doing? There you go. And, yeah, ultimately, it's either Asperger's or autism. Like, look at that, it's almost night already. I swear they reduced how long the days are. Like, days used to be like 20 minutes, now they feel like 5 minutes. Come on. There you go. Big conga line. Still got quite a bit of land to traverse. Gotta make sure I don't accidentally run into that ravine. Also making sure these guys are still following me. Leading animals is such a pain. Well, this sucks. So yeah, anyway, like I was saying, I either have Asperger's or I'm autistic or something, I don't know. Like, I think it's autism, Mother thinks it's Asperger's, I'm pretty sure Asperger's is part of the spectrum, so I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I don't know. Son of a bitch, come on. Come on. Ugh. You son of a... Come on! No. Come back. I was about to say, like, why won't I... Alright. That's kind of cool. It's like a little crevice in the sand. Anyway. Come on. The most boring thing that is advantageous to do in Minecraft right here. In fact, I have to stop and turn around every couple of feet because they keep stopping spontaneously. There's the Wandering Trader, there's my home. We're in the home stretch of things. Maybe I should make like a wall of cacti around my home. Think that'd look cool? See, he agrees. Come on. What do you think the inspiration for villagers were? They just one day decided they wanted some kind of humanoid mob that could bond with you? Granted, they didn't have a purpose at first, and they didn't have a purpose for a very long time other than aesthetics / lore. Wasn't until like 1.2 something that they added emerald trading. Can you believe they added emeralds before they added a use for emeralds? Yeah, emeralds were added to the game first, and And then like like an update or two later is when they added emerald trading. Absolutely goofy. Come on, you. I hate how they fight each other. They push each other out of the way. Get in. Come on. Get in. Come on. Come on. It ain't that hard. Come on. There you go. Oh, that was such an ordeal. Eat up. There you go. Okay, put that back. What was that supposed to be? Oh yeah, my bucket. This is a bucket. Dear God. No, you're staying in. I went through all that work. You're staying in there. Okay. Nice. Plenty of gold. I love gold. Okay, put that in there. I'll take this. Put this in there. Meats and animals. Put this in here. Wheat here. Mob drops here, here, and here. Then go to sleep. I mean, it looks like night to me, but alright. Metals and gems. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Got all that done. We'll probably just call it here for now. Yeah. Call it here for now. Next episode is probably just going to be a whole lot of exploring, so look forward to that. See you in the next one.